Hello grade 5, welcome to our week 5 of our math video lesson tutorial. And for our week 5, we will be discussing module number 8 and module number 9. For module number 9, we do have here solving real-life problems involving addition and subtraction of fractions. In this module, you are going to gain understanding in solving routine and non-routine word problems that involved addition and subtraction of fractions using appropriate problem-solving strategies and tools. For our first activity, kindly open your module on page number 3, What's In, and we will be answering the following problems. Our first problem, Mrs. Garcia had 5 and 1/4 meters of white cloth. Judith asked 3/4 meters of it for their project. How many meters of cloth were left? In solving word problems, we always have to be reminded of Polia's 4 steps in solving the problem. To solve this problem, we always have to be reminded of the steps that we need to follow. Of course, we have to know what is asked, what are given, operation to be used, number sentence for this problem, we have to show our solution, and of course, we have to check our answers. Of course, this follow the acronym AGONSA. This is also based in Polia's 4 steps in solving the problem. To start solving this problem, let us know what is asked in this problem. In this problem, you are asked here of how many meters of cloth were left. Or we could also tell that what is asked there is the number of meters of cloth left. For our given here, we do have here 5 and 1/4 meters of white cloth. And of course, we also have here 3/4 meters. These 3/4 meters will be taken out for Judith's project. For the operation to be used, of course, we always have to look for the word clues to help us figure out which operation will be used. In our problem, we do have here the word left, which means yung naiwan. After po makunan natin ng 3/4, ang 5 and 1/4 na white cloth na gagamitin ni Judith sa kanyang project, ilan yung maiiwan? Or gaano kahaba yung maiiwan? So, left means maiiwan. So, the operation to be used there is subtraction. After you already have the operation, then all you have to do is to make a number sentence. From that given, 5 and 1/4 white cloth, we will subtract 3/4, which will be used by Judith for her project. Then, what will be left? So our number sentence is 5 and 1/4 minus 3/4 is equal to n. And as in the solution for this problem, 5 and 1/4 minus 3/4 is equal to, in this case, we could not subtract 3 from 1. Yes, we could copy 4 as the denominator. However, we could not subtract 3 from 1. Mas malaki po yung 3 kaysa 1. So, we cannot subtract this 3 from 1. So, all we have to do is to borrow from 5. So, yung 5 po natin dyan ay magiging 4 plus 1. We will borrow this one na idadagdag natin sa 1/4. Then, para pag nadagdagan na natin yung 1/4 na yan ng 1, we will subtract 3/4. In this case, we have to combine these two values, 1 and 1/4 or 1 plus 1/4. This one is also equal to 4/4. Then, you will add 1/4 to that. Then, you have to copy the whole number 4. So, in this case, magiging 4 and 5/4. Pinagdugtong natin or inad natin yung 4/4 at 1/4. Then now, we could subtract 3/4 from 5/4. So, copy 4. And of course, 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. And 4 will be subtracted by, there's no whole number here, so just bring down 4. Now, let's try to look at our fraction. our fraction is not yet in its lowest term. We could still divide both 2 and 4 by 2. So, i-divide natin yung 2 sa 2, that is equal to 1. 4 sa 2, that is equal to 2. Then you just copy your whole number 4. Your answer is 4 and 1/2 meters left. Before we will have to write our answer, let's check our answer first. 4 and 1/2, what is left? Then we will add the 3/4, which is used for their project. It should give us the sum of 5 and 1/4, which is the initial, yung pinakaunang meters of cloth bago pa binawasan ng 3/4. If we will try to add these two numbers, of course, we could not just simply add them because they don't have the same denominator. So, look for their common denominator 4. Then after that 1, look for their new numerators. 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 1, that is 2. Now, 4 divided by 4 is 4 times 3 is equal to 3. So, copy 4. Then, our answer is 4 and 5/4. Now, this 5/4 is an improper fraction. So, we could still change that into a mixed form. 5 divided by 4, ilang 4 ang makukuha para maging sa 5 I mean? So, that is 1. The remainder, pag binawasan natin ng 4 is 1. Then, copy 4. Then, ang whole number, idadagdag natin dyan. At yan ay magiging 4 plus 1 is 5 and 1/4. So, that gives us 5 and 1/4, which is our initial given. Therefore, the final answer is 4 and 1/2 meters. For our next problem, Anna has 1 and 1/4 kilograms of pork and 2 and 1/2 kilograms of chicken in her refrigerator. How many kilograms of meat does she have in her refrigerator? Let us now solve this problem. What is asked in this problem is, how many kilograms of meat does she have in her refrigerator? What is asked in this problem is the number of kilograms of meat she has in her refrigerator. What are the given here? 1 and 1/4 kilograms of pork, and of course 2 and 1/2 kilograms of chicken. Next, let us know what's the operation to be used in this problem. But let us first look at the word clues that might help us in solving this problem. The question is, how many kilograms of meat does she have in her refrigerator? In this problem, we do have a word clue, which is how many kilograms of meat. So we do have two meat here, that is the meat of the pork and the meat of the chicken. And you are asked of how many kilograms in all. So the operation to be used is addition. And of course, what's the number sentence of this problem? So that's 1 and 1/4 plus 2 and 1/2 is equal to n, where n is our answer. So let me show you the solution for this problem. We do have 1 and 1/4 plus 2 and 1/2. Of course, we cannot just simply add these two fractions because they don't have the same denominator. The other one is 4, the other one is 2. So, what shall we do is to look for their least common denominator. Of course, the LCD kung saan magtatagpo si 4 at saka 2 is 4. Now, after that one, you look for their new numerator. Of course, because you just copied 4, you also have to copy the numerator 1. Here, 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2 times 1, that is equal to 2. Then copy the whole number. Then, if you are to add these two fractions, that will give you 4 as our denominator, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, and add the whole numbers, 1 and 2, that will give you 3. So, the answer is 3 and 3/4 kilograms. Let us first check if our answer is correctly done. So, 3 and 3/4 minus 1 and 1/4, which is the meat of, or I mean the pork. So what will be left? We are expecting for answer 2 and 2/4 or 2 and 1/2, which is the chicken, meat of chicken. So copy the common denominator 4 because they have the same denominator and subtract the numerators. So 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. Then subtract also the whole numbers. So 3 minus 1, that is equal to 2. Of course, we have to make our fraction into its simplest form. So both numerator and denominator are divisible by 2. So therefore, the correct answer is, that's 1 and that's 2. Then copy 2, 2 and 1/2. That's 2 and 1/2. The meat of chicken is 2 and 1/2. Therefore, our answer is correct, 3 and 3/4 kilograms of meat in her refrigerator. Let us now proceed to what's new of our module. That is page 5 of our module number 9. Now, our first problem, one weekend, Raul worked 5 and 3/4 hours on Saturday and 2 and 2/3 hours on Sunday. How many hours did Raul work for that week? Of course, Polya would always have to suggest that we will use this 4-step plan in solving the problem, and that is understand, plan, solve, and check. Of course, I would like also to remind you that our Agonza step also follow the steps suggested by Polya. Understand is we need to know what is asked and what are given. For planning stage, we always have to look for the operation or the strategy to be used in solving the problem. Of course, we will also have to make up for our number sentence. And for the solve, we have to show our solution. And of course, we have to check our answer. Now, let us start with what is asked or the understand portion. So you are asked here of how many hours did Raul work for that week? So that is the number of hours Raul worked. In our problem here, you are asked of the number of hours Raul work during weekend. Of course, our given here is 5 and 3/4 hours during Saturday or on Saturday and 2 and 2/3 hours on Sunday. Now, the operation to be used here is addition, the fact that you are asked here of the total number of hours he worked during weekend. Now, the number sentence for this is 5 and 3/4 plus 2 and 2/3 is equal to n, where n is the sum of the two time given there. So let me show now the solution for this problem. In this problem, you need to add 5 and 3/4 and 2 and 2/3. Of course, you could not just simply add these two fractions because they don't have the same denominator. So we really have to look for their common denominator. So 3 and 4 will meet at 12. Of course, yung pinakaunang number na magtagpo si 4 at saka 3 or ang multiples ng 3 at 4 is 12. So their LCD is 12. So now we have to look for their new numerator. So 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3 times 3, that will give us 9. 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 2, that is equal to 8. Then copy their whole numbers. After that one, we can now add the fractions. Of course, copy the common denominator 12 and add the numerators 9 plus 8 is equal to 17. Then add the whole numbers 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Now try to look at our fraction here. This fraction is an improper fraction, so we need to change this into mixed number. How many 12 we can get from 17? That will give us 1. Now, what will be left if we will take away or kunan natin ng 12 to? And that is equal to 5. So, copy the denominator 12. Of course, we will add 7 as our whole number there. So, that will sum up to 8 and 5 12s. So, all in all, Raul work 8 and 5 12 hours during that weekend. Now, if we will try to check our answer, all you have to do is 8 and 5 twelves. Then we will subtract 5 and 3 fourths. We are expecting for the answer, because we will subtract 5 and 3 fourths, we are expecting for the answer 2 and 2 thirds there. So if you will subtract these two, of course, you cannot easily subtract them because they don't have common denominator. Look for their common denominator, which is 12. So 12 divided by 12 is equal to 1 times 5 is 5. 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 3, that is equal to 9. Then, after doing, copy the whole numbers. The next thing that we have to do is, you subtract the fraction first. However, this is not enough, 5 twelves, to be subtracted by 9 twelves. So, we will borrow 1 from 8 to be added to 5 twelves. So, 7 will be left to 8 because you borrowed 1. Then we will subtract 5 and 9 twelves. Of course, this one should be changed to 12 twelves so that we could easily add 5 twelves to it. And we can now combine them. So, that will give us 7 and 17 twelves. Then we can now subtract 5 and 9 twelves to that. 5 and 9 twelves. So the final answer is 17 minus 9 is equal to 8. Copy 12. Then 7 minus 5 is equal to 2. Now try to look at your fraction. We could still lowest term this one because both are divisible by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then copy the whole number. So that's 2 and 2 thirds, which is the same to the number of hours during Sunday. So our answer, 8 and 5 twelves, is correct. Let us now try item number 2 of What's New that is still on page number 5 of your module. The problem, Angelica hiked 4 and 3/8 miles one day and 2 and 5/16 miles on the next day. How many miles did Angelica hike in all? In this problem, we need to understand the problem, so we need to know what is asked. And what is asked here is the number of miles did Angelica hike in all. So, what is asked in our problem is the number of miles Angelica hiked in all. Of course, the given here are the following: 4 and 3/8 miles for first day and 2 and 5/16 miles the next day. Of course, because you are asked here of in all, therefore the operation to be used here is addition. For the number sentence, that would be 4 and 3/8 plus 2 and 5/16 is equal to n, where n is the total number of miles Angelica hiked. Let me show you the solution this time. 4 and 3/8 plus 2 and 5/16. If you notice, I am using two different ways on how to add and to subtract fractions that could be horizontally or vertically. This one, horizontal. Of course, we could not just simply add these two fractions because they don't have the same denominator. So we will have to look for their LCD, and their LCD is 16. Now, 16 divided by 8 is equal to 2 times 3, that is equal to 6. Now, of course, we will just copy 5 here. And of course, copy the whole number 4 and 2. Now, if you will have to add these numbers, you start with the fraction first. Copy the common denominator 16, then add the numerator. 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. Then also you will add whole numbers 2 and 4, which is equal to 6. Now, this fraction now, or this mixed number, is already in its simplest form. So that's already our final answer, 6 and 11, 16. Then, of course, do not forget the unit miles. So, in order for you to check your answer, you will have to subtract 6 and 11, 16. You will subtract 4 and 3/8 either. It could be 4 and 3/8 or 2 and 5/16. And of course, if you will subtract these two numbers, expect that your answer is 2 and 5/16. Now, if you get the answer 5 and 2/16, then your answer 6 and 11/16 here is correct. So our answer is 6 and 11/16. For what is asked in this problem, we are asked here to look for the number of kilograms of recycled materials the pupils collected. Now the given that we have here are the following: 1 and 2/3 kilograms of bottles, and of course 1 and 4/5 kilograms of used newspapers. Then of course the operation to be used here, because you are asked of the total number of kilograms of recycled materials, total number of materials here, so the operation is addition. And of course, the number sentence for that is 1 and 2/3 plus 1 and 4/5 is equal to n, where n is the total number of the recycled materials. Let us now solve for this problem. 1 and 2/3 plus 1 and 4/5. Of course, they don't have yet common denominator, so we have to look for the common denominator first. The common denominator for 3 and 5, magtatagpo yung 3 and 5 sa 15. Now, because you already have the new denominator 15, we will also have to look for the new numerator. 15 divided by 3 is 5 times 2, that is equal to 10. 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3, then times 4, that is equal to 12. Then we will copy their whole number, 1 and 1. After that one, we can now add their numerators, copy the denominator 15 and add the numerator 22. Then of course, you also have to add your whole numbers. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now, if you will try to examine closely our fraction here, that's 22 over 15 or 22/15, of course, this could be changed to mixed number. Ilang 15 ang makukuha natin sa 22? That is equal to 1. Ilan yung matitira pag binawasan natin ng 15 yung 22? That is equal to 7. So, copy the denominator 15. Then, of course, you will add the whole number 2. So, that would sum up to 3 and 7/15. So, don't forget to put your label kilograms. Now, try to examine if your fraction is already in the simplest form or in lowest term. 7/15 is in lowest term. Therefore, the correct answer is 3 and 7/15 kilograms. To check your answer, you could do 3 and 7/15, which is the sum, minus either of these two, 1 and 2/3 or 1 and 4/5. If you decided to use 1 and 2/3, if you will subtract 1 and 2/3, expect that the answer is supposed to be 1 and 4/5. If you will get 1 and 4/5, then your answer is already correct. Let's try another example that is on page number 7 of your module. The problem is, Samuel has an aquarium. 1/3 of the fishes in a tank are catfish, and 2/9 of the fishes are koi's, and the rest are goldfish. There are 40 goldfishes in the tank. How many fishes are there in the tank? To solve this problem, let us know what is asked and what are given. In this problem, you are asked of the number of fishes are there in the tank. In this problem, you are asked of the number of fishes are there in the tank. So the number of fishes are there in the tank. In this problem, what are the given here are the following: 1/3, which is the catfish, 2/9, which is the koi's, and of course 40 goldfishes. If you notice, we do have here a fraction given and of course a whole number given, which is 40. So this time we are asked of the number of fishes in the tank. Okay, so in this kind of problem, we have to look for a strategy in order for us to solve this problem. Of course, if you will try to look at, we could not combine the fraction part here to our whole number. So this time, let us decide on how do we solve this problem. Of course, this problem is not just as easy as addition or subtraction of fraction. The fact that we already know the number of goldfish, which is 40, but we don't know yet if how many catfish will represent 1/3 of the fish in the aquarium, or the number of koi's is not yet determined because we need to know first if how many of how many fishes would represent the koi for 2/9 of the aquarium. So this problem is a kind of non-routine problem. In solving non-routine problem, we may use the following strategy or combination of any strategies here to solve the problem. We could use looking for the pattern. We could have guess and check. We could have make and solve a simpler problem. We could do the backward solving. We could act it out or make a model. We could break up our problem into smaller ones and try to solve this first. We could also draw picture or diagrams. We could make a list, which is an organized list. We could make table. We could use equation. We could use manipulatives, and of course, logical reasoning. Going back to our problem, let us decide what is the best strategy in order for us to solve this problem. Allow me to show to you the solution, which is making a diagram through model approach. So in this problem, we do have here a one whole rectangular block, which would represent the total number of fishes in the tank. Now, we could not just easily illustrate 1/3 and 2/9 here because they don't have the same denominator. So in this case, we really have to make these two fractions into similar fractions so that it would be easier for us to divide this whole into fractions to represent 1/3 and 2/9. Mas mahirap kasing i-divide yung 1/3 at saka, or I mean yung one whole na to sa 1/3 at 2/9 kasi hindi sila parehong denominator. So, saan ko i-divide to? I-divide ko ba yung whole sa 3 or i-divide ko siya by 9? So, it would be best na maghanap tayo ng fraction kung saan magtutugma, kung saan mag-similar fraction itong 1/3 tsaka 2/9. Of course, we have to look for their common denominator, that is 9. So 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3 times 1, that is equal to 3. So our new fraction is 3/9. And of course, here 9 divided by 9 is 1 times 2, that is equal to 2. So ngayon, mas easy na na malaman natin kung saan natin i-divide yung one whole na to. Because they do have now the same denominator na 9, so we will divide the whole or this whole model or this whole block into 9 equal parts. 3 parts will be for catfish and 2 parts will be for kois. After we already have divided the whole block into 9 equal parts, then 3/9 here, this would represent the number of catfish, which is 1/3, which is also equal to 1/3 because if you see every third, 1, 2, 3. There are 3 parts. So 1/3 or 3/9. And 2/9 will be for the kois. So that is 2/9. 1 and 2. That is for the kois. Now, the rest, yung natira, is for the goldfish. And this is equal to 40. So, if you notice, the 40 here would represent 1, 2, 3, 4 units. 4 units is equal to 40. Now, all we have to know is the number of unit. Pag nalaman natin kung ano yung value ng isang unit, malalaman natin kung ilan yung kois. Malalaman natin kung ilan yung catfish. So, halimbawa, we have here 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is equal to 40. In order for us to get 1 unit, so that is equal to 40 divided by 4. So, 1 unit now is equal to 10. Dahil alam na natin each unit is equal to 10, and this one is equal to 2 units, so this is also equal to 10 and 10. And of course, this one is 3 units, so this is also equal to 10, 10, 10, because each unit is equal to 10. 1 unit is equal to 10. So, tama. Yung goldfish natin, 10, 20, 30, 40, 40 nga. So, ibig sabihin, yung kois natin is 10, 20, which is equal to 20. Dalawang unit, 2/9, which is equal to 20. And of course, yung 3/9 or 1/3 is for the catfish, which is equal to 30. So, I think this time, this would be easier for us to determine the number of fishes in the tank. Through this model, it shows na ang number of fishes natin is 30, 20, tsaka 40. So all in all, 40 plus 20, that is equal to 50, plus 40, that is equal to 90. So that is 90 fishes. So our answer is 90 fishes. However, we need to confirm or we need to check if our answer is correct or not. So all we have to do is 90. We will get 1/3 of that. So we will get 1/3 of that. So that is equal to, when I say 1/3 of 90, 90 divided by 3, that is equal to 30 times 1, that is equal to 30. Tama. So all you have to do is to get 2 nines. 2 nines of 90. So 90 divided by 9, that is equal to 10 times 2, tama, 20. And of course, we do have here 40 goldfish. Therefore, the correct answer is 90 fishes. After our sharing, I believe na kayang-kaya na ninyong isolve ang mga similar problems like what we did a while ago. So this time, I want you to open your module on page number 8 and answer what's more. We do have here 5 problems. However, if you don't have the module, I am showing you now what you will have to answer. The direction here says, solve each problem involving the addition or subtraction of fractions. Write the answer only on a separate sheet of paper. Now, pause this video and answer your what's more. To those who find these problems difficult, I want to help you with some clues in order for you to solve this problem. So in problem number 1, Doris' house is 3/4 kilometers from the church. One day, she took a tricycle to the church. After covering a distance of 1/8 kilometers, the tricycle stopped and Dory had to walk. How far did she walk? To solve this problem, 3/4 is the distance of Doris' house to church. Then of course, she took a tricycle but it stopped after 1/8 kilometers. So you subtract 1/8 kilometer after the tricycle ride. Then what was left will be for Dory to walk. Okay? So the answer of this number sentence, 3/4 minus 1/8 is equal to n, would be the distance that she covered by walking. Then for number 2, Catherine and Bernard shared a cake. Catherine ate 1/3 of it and Bernard ate 3/8 of it. What fraction of the cake did they eat? So the fraction that they did they eat is 1/3 plus 3/8. This one is for Catherine, this one is for Bernard. So that's the fraction that they ate together. So 1/3 plus 3/8. For number 3, Cindy bought 10 and 4/5 kilograms of ground meat. She used 3 and 2/3 kilograms for lumpia. Then you are asked here of how many kilograms of ground meat was left. So because of what's left, so that is 10 and 4/5, we will subtract 3 and 2/3. So if we will subtract, we will know if how many kilograms of ground meat was left. For item number 4 here, on her way to school, Jasmine traveled 6 and 3/8 kilometers by bus and 5 and 2/5 kilometers by bicycle. How far does she travel from her home to school? So that's the total distance, the 6 and 3/8 plus 5 and 2/5. That is the distance of Jasmine's house to school. Now, let's proceed to item number 5. A tailor used 2 and 3/4 meters of cloth for a pair of pants and 1 and 9/10 meters of it for skirt. So, how many meters of cloth was used? So, that is 2 and 3/4 plus 1 and 9/10 is equal to n. That's the total number of cloth he used. So, this time, I want you to check your answer on answer key at the last portion of this module in order for you to check if you got it correctly or do you still have to work more in order for you to master this lesson. I have here another 2 problems for you to try on. The direction, read and analyze the problem. You may solve using any method. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. For item number 1, Ben weighs 44 and 1/2 kilograms. Tony weighs 41 and 5/8 kilograms. And June weighs 22 and 1/4 kilogram. How much more did Tony and June weighs than Ben? For the next item, Lisa had a chocolate bar and she wanted to share it equally between two of her friends. How much chocolate would her friends get each share? How much would each get if it would be shared equally between 4 people? If Lisa had 1/2 share of the chocolate bar and wanted to share it between two of her friends, what fraction of the chocolate bar do they get each? For me to help you for these two items, for the first item here, you are asked if how much more did Tony and June weighs compared to Ben. So this kind of problem could be illustrated this way. So for example, this is the weight of Tony, which is 41 and 5/8. And of course, we will combine the weight of June, which is 22 and 1/4. This is the total of Tony and June. So all we have to do is to compare it to the weight of Ben. Ben's weight, that is 44 and 1/2. So when we say 44 and 1/2, let's illustrate it this way. So 44 and 1/2. So the question is, how much more did Tony and June, the combination of Tony and June, how much is this compared to the weight of Ben? This problem can be illustrated by adding the weight of Tony and June. Then after that, they will subtract the weight of Ben. For item number 2, we have series of questions here, but let us first answer the first question. How much chocolate would her friends get each share? Remember that if this is the chocolate bar, and if two friends will share from the chocolate bar, so what fraction is this and what fraction is this? So that is the answer for the first question, if her two friends will share for that chocolate bar. Of course, our next problem, how much would each get if it would be shared equally between 4 or among, it will be shared among 4 people. So if you have the same bar, but this chocolate bar will be shared by 4 people this time, so you are asked if how much would each, okay, how much would each receive or get? Okay, this is for 2 people. This one is for 4 people. And of course, another problem is that if Lisa have 1/2 share of the chocolate bar and want to share it between 2 of her friends, what fraction of the chocolate bar do they get each? So for example, if that's the same chocolate bar, of course, according to the stem or the premise of the question, Lisa have 1/2 share of the chocolate bar. So let's get the 1/2 of that. This is for Lisa. And of course, you are asked if what fraction of the chocolate bar do they get each? So the 2 friends, how much will each one get? Remember that this portion here was divided into 2 parts. Of course, you will also to divide this part into 2 parts. So this is for the 2 friends. Okay? After Lisa have already taken her share, which is 1/2. So how much would each of them get? Using the illustration, I hope this would help you solve the problem with ease. And now let's proceed to your assessment. I know that you are now ready to answer our assessment. Now try to look at the assessment Pause this video and answer the first part of your assessment 1 up to 5. We still have numbers 6 up to 10. The direction here, choose the letter of the correct answer on a separate answer sheet. Here's the remaining item of your assessment. Here's item number 6 up to 10 that will complete your assessment. Now pause this video and answer the rest of the item. Thank you so much for joining me in this venture of solving real-life problems involving addition and subtraction of fraction, which is our Module 9 for Mathematics 5 first quarter. See you next time.